What's going on, your Bomber Clouds? It's your boy Captain Smoke, man, and I wanted to do something a little bit different for you guys today. Pretty much everybody's heard about, Lonzo Ball's shoe that just dropped called the ZO2, and obviously it's a $500 shoe pretty much. So everybody's up in arms about that, but I just kind of wanted to throw my 2 cents in on it. But we're gonna call this Captain Smoke's 2 hits. You know how you puff pass in rotation, and you and your homeboys talk about shit and stuff like that. But since I'm smoking with you guys, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna give my opinion on the topic. Feel free to leave leave your opinion on the matter in the description below. And let me know if you want me to continue doing this. And of course, if you have a topic you want my two hits on, let me know, man. I'll always do that for you guys. But cheers. All right, guys, cigarettes are bad. I'm not condoning cigarettes, but I just actively like smoking, so it is what it is. But I'm not promoting cigarettes. I'm not getting paid to, whatever. But let's talk about it. All right, so anybody that follows basketball even remotely, especially like the high school AAU level, you know who the Ball brothers are, especially Lonzo. He's been at it for a while. Hoop mixtape, Ball is life. They've had him all over the place for years. And his brother Leangelo, and he's going to UCLA next year, and Melo is already committed to UCLA. So like if you follow basketball, you know who these guys are. But it really hasn't been till, I would say, recently, like in the past 4 months, maybe 4 or 5 months, 6 months maybe at the most, that their father Lavar Ball has really stepped onto the scene. And as they'll tell you, he's always been like that. It's just that the cameras are now more focused on him. Like somebody gave him an interview, and the world saw his personality, and now he is where he is. So I would just have to take my hat off to Lavar, I guess you could say, for putting himself in a position to even, he put the Big Baller brand in a position to even have, I don't know, whether you agree with the shoe or not. Like, for example, for myself, I used to be into Jordans when I was younger, when I was in high school, and I thought that's what you needed to get girls. I mean, it wasn't really about the girls. I really loved the shoes because I loved Michael Jordan as a kid growing up, and, he would play in these shoes. But it just gets to a certain point when you're working and you work 6-7 days out the week. You're only in work shoes, so you have no time to wear these shoes. So why pay $200 for it? So that's where I'm at in life. Like, the most I'll spend on a pair of shoes, it's like a $75 little pair of Roshis just to cruise in, because these shits are so comfortable, bro. Like, I have like so many pairs of these. Anyway, that's $75. This shoe is a $495 shoe. And most people can't get their heads around this, but here's where my point of view comes in, all right? If you look at the current generation, right, it's all about flexing. So look at a Gucci belt. Be honest with yourself. Does that belt look good to you, or is it just because everybody knows it's Gucci that it's attractive to you? You know what I'm saying? People spend $300-400 on a Gucci belt. I would never spend over $100. The only belt that I would spend over $100 on, or anywhere close to $100 on, is a really good gun belt with a holster like that holds holsters. Because I have a Glock 19. That's not necessarily something you just want to Mexican carry, or in your waistband. That's not the kind of thing. It's like it's a compact, but it's not the subcompact. Let's put it like that. So you need a decent belt to hold that up on your waistline. So I could understand investing in a good quality belt to hold your gun. But just to wear and then to sag your pants just to show anybody, I don't get that. But it is a market of people out there that do shit like that. So you'll spend $400 on a belt not to keep your pants up, but to show everybody that you have money to spend on this kind of thing. So this is where your ZO2 comes in. Like, okay, so Lavar was on Twitter, right? And he said, if you can't afford the ZO2s, you are not a big baller. And a lot of people took offense to that. But he's right. What you got to understand, day one in business classes, guys, the first thing they're going to do is tell you about target markets. And, if you have a product, right, you have to define your target market, what they're willing to spend. Guys, the target, I see what he's doing though. The target market he's aiming at is these kids, the same kids that'll go spend, these are the kids that'll camp you know, a week for some Jordans or some Yeezys. Like, Yeezys are $500, but that's Kanye. I get it, that's Kanye. But what you got to understand is there are a market of people. For the sake of this video, let's just call them the big baller target market. There are people that have money. Like, there's two types of people with money. The people that are comfortable in their own skin and the people that need to let everybody know that they have money. These are the kind of people that love this kind of shit, right? Because everybody knows this shoe is $500. Everybody can recognize the shoe because it's all over the internet, right? So if you walk around with a pair of these on, everybody knows, okay, he just spent $500 on a pair of shoes. He's a big baller. That's the mentality. And that's the kind of mentality that Lavar Ball, because he probably sees it in his sons. Like if you look at the gear, like his sons are really into the gear and shit like that. And then obviously the kids that follow them, they try to say, okay, I want to go pick up that gear. I want to pick up that gear. So if you creating a brand for your sons, right? And for the people, the type of people that follow your sons, why not take advantage of their characteristics? I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. There will be people literally that will buy the shoe no matter how much it costs, just because, I mean, no matter how it looks, just because of what it costs, just because everybody can't afford it. That's just a market of people. And Lavar, I think he's taken full advantage of you know, his, what some people were calling his 15 minutes of fame, but it's way past 15 minutes now. Shit's, you know, still going. But you know, I take my hat off to the guy because he's pushing this brand, you know what I'm saying? Like, this brand is now a household name, whether you like it or not. You feel me? Whether you buy a shoe or not, you know about the big baller brand. So even if his shoe doesn't sell, you know, 1 million units or whatnot, the brand is now on the map, I guess you could say. It's not on the map for sales yet, but it's on the map. You know what the big baller brand is. And he doesn't have a major link to, you know, he doesn't have any major companies backing him or anything. So I think that's great, man. You know, one of the things that we as a people, I'm talking to black people now, the black community, one of the things we need to focus on is unifying our dollar, right? We spend more money than most countries in the US, and yet we spend it on everything and everybody else. So we don't have any money to put behind our political agendas or anything like that. So I think that Lavar Ball, I'm not going to buy his $495 shoe. I wouldn't buy any shoe for anywhere near that price because that's just how I am. But I respect what he's doing. Just put it like that. You know, black business. Hey, what, you know, it is what it is. Now, before I get out of here, I don't want to make this video too long. Dick Vitale went in on basically this whole thing, basically saying, you know, Lonzo Ball shoes are, you know, they're $4.95, but if he plays in the NBA like he did versus De'Aaron Fox, they'll be worth $4.95. And anybody that you know, watched that game, that what was it, the Elite Eight, Kentucky against UCLA. I mean, you can't really argue with that. De'Aaron Fox was amazing in that game, and he made Lonzo look like a non-factor. But with that being said, I think Lonzo will be fine in the NBA, to be honest. I mean, his dad has obviously put a lot on his plate as far as expectations, but you know, like Lonzo, like they pretty much all say the same thing. Like, he's risen to the top at every level, so you know that pressure shouldn't be anything that he's not putting on himself anyway. So basically, long story short, guys, the $4.95 is outrageous, but one, I think it brings the big baller brand, you know, it expands the attention. Everybody's talking about it, whether they buy a shoe or not. Everybody's talking about it. Okay, and then also, like I said, I definitely know that there's a target market out there. You know, hint, hint, the big ballers that are actually all about spending large amounts of money on things that people normally wouldn't spend large amounts of money on, just to get the reaction, just to have the, you know, oh, he, you know, his outfit's worth $2,000 right now, you know. That's the kind of genre we live in. Like, that's the kind of time we're living in. Listen to your songs. They'll tell you, I got 30 on my wrist, 50 on my neck, this and that. It's all about the flex. So I definitely see what Lavar is doing, and you know, I think he's on the right path. Let's say he sells 1,000, 2,000, you know, 5,000 pairs of these shoes. gets enough money to get traction and, you know, facilities for the Big Baller brand, and then he comes out with a regular, you know, regularly priced, competitively priced shoe. That's where I see this going, because you got to understand, he's starting an independent business. He's not with Nike, Adidas, none of these major companies with all of their resources. So while I won't buy the shoe, I think that there will be enough people to invest in that, in the idea, in the Big Baller brand, for them to at least, you know, have some type of momentum going into Lonzo's career. But yeah, man, it's your boy Captain Smoke. Like I said, if you want me to throw my 2 hits on any topic, let me know in the comments. And also let me know in the comments what you think about this situation. But yeah, man, it's your boy Captain Smoke. Smoke out.